Hey, Tanya here. I want to talk to you today about what's the worst that could happen. What's the worst thing that could happen if you decided that you were going to go for your dream? You were going to do that thing that you have been longing to do for years. What's the worst thing that could happen? You could get talked about from your peers or from your family members. They could say bad things about you, like, oh, who does she think she is? What makes her think that it's going to work? But I'm here to tell you that that's not the worst thing that could happen. I was reading this quote from James Allen's book, As a Man Thinketh. And you know, he got that straight out of the Bible. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So he was talking about thoughts of doubt and fear. And in the quote, he said, let me see where it is right here. And I think the quote, this is what he says. Thoughts of doubt and fear never accomplish anything and never can. They always lead to failure. Thoughts of doubt and fear never lead to anything. They can only lead to failure. So the worst thing that could happen is failure. But when I speak of failure, I'm not talking about failure in the sense that you associate failure with. Because typically, when we think of failure, we think about trying something and it not working out. And we consider that to be a failure. Yeah, it could be a failure if you don't get back up. But if you try something and it doesn't work out, get back up and try again. Maybe it's that same thing you tried, but you do it a different way. Or maybe it's something completely different that you try. But you keep getting up and you keep going and you keep trying. But I want to talk to you about another type of failure that's the worst thing that could happen. The worst thing that could happen is that you can be on your deathbed and you could be having all these thoughts. And the one thought that you may have on your mind, and it's been a study that has been done that out of all the things, when someone talks to a person that's in a nursing home or when they're on their deathbed, the main thing that a lot of people regret is not doing the things that they wanted to do. So that is the worst thing that could happen. You could be about to take your last breath on your deathbed. Do you think that you're going to be sitting around worrying about what your friends or what your family members or your peers had to say about you trying the thing and it didn't work out, or somebody laughing at you? Because that's often what we fear. We fear what someone else is going to have to say. And normally it's people that are not even in the arena. It's people that are not even trying to accomplish their own dreams and goals, who have the most things to say, who have the most harsh things to say. And so we worried about them. Before we even make a step, we always got to try to get the approval of friends or family. We want to get the approval of someone before we start on our journey that we're supposed to start on. But again, the worst thing that could happen is that you could be on your deathbed and you're thinking about all the things that you could have, should have done, and that you would have done if you were not afraid. So I'm here to help you to move along, to get things going. And don't worry about what the naysayers have to say. Don't worry about their opinion. Don't worry about if you're getting it right. Don't worry about if they approve of it or not. If it's something that brings you joy in your heart, and it's something that satisfies you, and you're not causing harm to anyone else, of course, you do that thing. Do it until your heart is content. Because you only have one life to live. And the worst thing that could happen is not that failure that you have in your mind of making a mistake and not getting it right. But it's that failure that you failed to live your life to the fullest. You failed to give yourself an opportunity. You failed to show up for yourself in the way that you know you should have. And now you've reached the end. And you're looking back and you're saying, what happened? What have I been doing with my life? I've let myself go. I stopped living. You know how we get so wrapped up in these jobs, right? We get so caught up in these jobs, and most of the times they are jobs that we don't even like. We are on these jobs because of the paycheck that it brings in. But we get so caught up on these jobs that we forget to live our life. You know, you got to rush home so you can get into bed, or rush home so you can complete the chores so you can get back up and do the same thing over again the next day. But you never taken a moment to do those things that you really care about because you're so consumed with life and the things that life is throwing your way. Think about it. You may spend 30, 40, 50 years on a job. And in the meantime, you've put your life on hold. And I'm talking about your everyday, day to day. Yeah, you may get some vacations here and there, and you go out of town or you go out of the country or whatever. You do all those things. But what about your everyday, day to day? What are you doing to take care of you on a daily basis? What are you doing to get yourself out of a rut on a daily basis? Because the time is ticking. The days are going on by. The time is rolling. And so the worst thing that could happen is that you could take your last breath and not even have put a dent in this life. So don't wait for the weekend. Don't wait until you're older. Don't wait for all of this time to pass. Think of some ways that you can implement some of those things that you love and some of those things you cherish that will get you closer to reaching your goal. Because it doesn't take a lot. All it takes is a few baby steps toward that thing that you desire, toward that thing that you want to see happen in your life, to have it to come to pass. So when you think about the worst thing that can happen, don't think about falling down and something not working for you. Don't think about your friends, your peers, or your loved ones criticizing you for wanting something new or wanting something better. Don't think about that. That's not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that could happen is that you could be taking your last breath and not even have done the things that you wanted to do. I hope this helps. I'm Tanya Katina. Be blessed. I'll talk to you soon.